again, that should not be the basis for the formulation of tax policy. It should. Who are they to decide who can afford it and who can't? That's not the way it's supposed to work. Stephen, we got you? Stephen.
Hello.
Hey, Stephen. Glad we finally got you connected. Appreciate you joining the program today, sir. How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I was listening to your program a little earlier on some of the crazy critical race theory and what's going on university campuses, and you're so right about that. So, I mean, why do we subsidize higher ed when all they do is preach about how horrible our country is?
It's just mind-boggling. And then we wonder why we can't get folks to go out and work the jobs that are available for them and that society needs to keep growing our economy.
We have 10.9 million job openings right now, and of course we've been paying people not to work. I talked to the head of the FedEx, Fred Smith, who's one of the biggest employers in the United States, obviously, and he was telling me yesterday that FedEx has 25,000 job openings.
Good grief.
25,000. He said we cannot get people to come to work, and it is happening all over the country. And by the way, FedEx, those are $40 an hour jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those jobs pay $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 with benefits. And the government, Uncle Sam, is paying so much out in welfare now that people can't afford to go back to work. They're making more money staying on the couch and watching Netflix.
It's just unbelievable. But Stephen, a good bit of that has expired in most states. But we still do have the child tax credits being just dropped in everybody's mailbox or bank account every month. So what did they do? Save up their stimulus money and their unemployment benefits to just tide them over for a while? It's amazing.
It's unbelievable how much we're paying people. In fact, in most states, Mississippi is different because you're a lower cost of living state. But in most states, if you got a couple on unemployment, even without the expanded unemployment benefits, because they've expanded food stamps, they've expanded rental assistance, they've expanded health care, Medicare, Medicaid benefits. Yeah, a family with 4 people, 2 kids, and 2 unemployed parents can make about $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year not working.
Unbelievable. It's just
so
unbelievable.
It's a real problem.
And so I saw a report last week.
Back in the 1990s, when Clinton was president and the Republicans took over Congress, I remember I was working for Newt back then. We passed welfare reform, and we got people back into the workforce. We put time limits on the benefits. We said you have to work if you're going to, at least be looking for work. Biden's got rid of all of those. All of those requirements are gone now. So, there's no incentive for people to go back to work. In fact, some people are going to lose money if they go back to work. Lose money.
Unbelievable. It's almost as if this administration wants this government dependency, and they don't want private.
I don't know what their motivation is. I think that sometimes when I'm cynical, I think that they just want people to be hooked on government. They want dependency. It's the plantation idea that they want people to be, dependent on the ruler and the ruling class. And I hate to think that. By the way, when we've got people who haven't worked now for 18 months, still getting these benefits.
That's just unbelievable. So I know just anecdotally, I'm sure you have the same experience. Everywhere you go, you see help wanted signs now hiring. Every window, every door. Doesn't matter who it is.
Yep. I mean, now you've got restaurants that are closing on, 2 or 3 nights a week. They can't get the workers. You've got all sorts of issues with respect to the inability for employers to hotels open, restaurants open, construction sites. You try to, I don't know in Mississippi, but in most states in the country, you can't even get a construction crew now.
Yeah.
You can't somebody come into your home and work on your, we're trying to get an expansion on our house. We can't get anybody to come in and do it. Nobody. There's nobody to do it.
Yeah, you're so right. And the thing about it is people have money that they want to spend, and we're locked down for so long. I'm trying to get some work done at my house as well, and I signed a contract in August, and I failed to ask when can you get started before I signed it, and I'm told by them that it would be middle of October, so 2.5 months to get some fairly minor work done around my house that includes some painting and so forth. It's just the way their schedule works.
I'll tell you something else. Now, as we speak, the Congress is now, the Democrats who run Congress are now trying to put the final touches on a $5 trillion spending bill.
Yep.
That's on top of the $6 trillion that they passed during the normal budget. And this is all welfare expansions. It's tax the rich, give people free money. The people who are working are going to pay more, and the people who aren't going to be working are going to get less. They get more, and the people who work pay more taxes. The small business tax, for those people listening to this show, if you own a small business, your tax rate could go up to 45 to 50%. We got it down under Trump to 30%. So these tax rates are higher than the tax rates charged in communist China, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and so to explain that, they want to decrease the exemption on pass-through entities there, which just means more of that income flows to the individuals, and you're paying the individual rates. And, of course, the individual rates go up.
That's right.
The other thing is...
By the way, I take this kind of personally because it was Larry Kudlow and I, who were the economic advisors for Trump, who insisted that we put that in there so we don't just help our corporations. We wanted to help American companies, but we also wanted to help the small businesses. So we said, okay, let's have for pass-throughs. A pass-through is basically a small business.
Yep.
Let's lower their rates, too. And we created more jobs than ever before in the history of the country.
And increase household income by some $6,000 over 4 years, and that's pretty much become stagnant now and actually being exceeded by inflation.
Yeah, and by the way, the numbers came out today, the poverty numbers and the income numbers, and, it shows that in 2019, right before the pandemic, that Trump brought down the poverty rate for minorities in the United States. Are you ready for this? The lowest rate of poverty for Hispanics and blacks ever in the history of the country.
I know. It's and we just want to throw all that out the window and reverse everything. We got a break right here. You busy or can you hang for one more segment? Want to talk to you about taxes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. We got Stephen Moore with us, writer, economist, former Trump advisor. Stay with us. Stephen Moore, former Trump economic advisor, author of Trumponomics, is our guest. So one of the things, Stephen, that always just grinds my gears is when I hear lawmakers talk about tax increases on the basis of, well, they can afford it. And it's just, who are you to decide what companies or people can afford, and how is that supposed to be the basis for devising and designing tax policy? Congressman Neal from Massachusetts just said this a couple of days ago.
So did you see, by the way, what happened a couple of days ago where AOC went to this the gala with the glitterati up in Manhattan? $35,000 a plate dinner. I haven't gone to one of those in a long time, but $35,000 a plate. And she has this white gown on. I think most people have probably seen it. It says "tax the rich."
Yep.
And I'm like, well, you're hanging out with the rich. We don't, But look, these politicians don't know anything. They've never produced a business. If you look at, by the way, I'm going to probably lose you in about a couple minutes.
Okay.
I'm not juiced on my phone, but I've got to say this. The people who are rich in this country, they're people who are achievers. They're people who have been running small businesses. We find 2 out of 3 of the people who are in the top 1% of income, those evil rich people, what do they do for a living? They own and operate small businesses.
Yep.
Where do jobs come from? Small businesses.
Yeah.
How are you going to get my old boss, Dick Armey, remember him in Congress, he used to say, liberals love jobs, but they hate employers. You can't have jobs without employers, right?
I think of just my personal situation, having gone to Wall Street, raised a bunch of money from the private equity community to grow my business and create jobs, create wealth. My concern now is with all these capital gains taxes and estate tax exemption going down, that you start to see some of the capital dry up. They're not willing to put it at risk like that.
And without investment, that's right, because capital gain is just a gain that you make on an investment you make in an American company, and then And by the way, do you see what they want to do on the death tax? They want to basically take 40% of what somebody earns over their whole lifetime, and you want to leave a business or a ranch or a farm to your heirs. You can't do it.
Yeah.
They're going to take the government take 40% of it away. You're going to literally have people selling farms to pay the taxes when a father or a grandfather or a grandmother dies. I mean, that's so contrary to the whole American idea that you can pass on your wealth in a business and a farm or a ranch to your kids. I mean, what's wrong with that? That's the American dream.
Yeah.